Hello my dears, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pamela and I usually put out beauty related videos on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Today I figured I'd sit down and sort of give you guys a little life update slash what is to come of my YouTube channel for the next few months, because there is a lot of things going on in my personal life, but they're actually really good things, so I feel like I could sit down and tell you guys. 9 months ago, my husband unfortunately lost his job, and for the last 9 months it has been a roller coaster of emotions for him to find a job. There was so many like situations where he would just get an interview and they would give him a test. If you're curious, my husband is an app developer. He develops apps for like iOS and Android and things like that. They would send him a test to sort of test his knowledge on programming and things like that, and then they would just never call him back. Like, they would never tell him anything. He would never hear back from the company, and he would just sort of feel defeated, and you know, rejection is very hard. There was a point where I did have a job, but that job didn't quite work out for me for two reasons. One, the company was insanely unorganized, you guys. There were days I would walk in and nobody knew I was scheduled, so I quit that job. I was so sorry, I'm trying to take my socks off. I was so miserable. I just like would come home and like vent about it to my husband, and one day my husband just said, you know what, just quit. We don't need that. We don't need that money. We don't need that job. We're gonna be okay with what we've got. I love my husband so much, you guys. The second reason was because my husband ended up getting a really legit, like, awesome opportunity that we thought was going to be the job. And basically this huge company that will remain nameless here in Seattle recruited him and asked him to interview in person after like a month of, you know, emails and phone calls and FaceTiming. Like, they finally decided that my husband was right for the job. So this company did an all-expense trip to Seattle from upstate New York. Basically, he interviewed for like 6 hours in Seattle, and then he came home, and we didn't hear back from the company for about a week. And then when he finally reached out to them and asked them like what was the deal, the company straight up gave us a response. But anyway, it was insane. Like, after all of that like emotional like investing that we did, like, they just straight up said like it wasn't gonna happen. And I will tell you their reasoning, because like I said, it just didn't sound right. So basically the recruiter told him, he said, you know what, why don't you apply for another job here in Seattle and get your family out here, and next year apply for the same position, and you know, maybe we'll hire you then. What? Probably just ended up going with somebody local instead of my husband, which was stupid, because why would they spend so much money like to get him to meet the company if they just didn't want him? I don't get it. We still question it today. We still wonder what the heck happened with this company in Seattle, because it didn't seem right. Why would they pay for this trip and just tell him no? It just, do they really have that much money to spend? Like, that's crazy. So then some more time went by and he kept applying and applying and applying, and it got to the point where I told him, you know, I feel like if you just interview in person, you can wow these people and you could show them what you've done. And he's built his own app. He currently has his own app on the Apple App Store. I'm gonna do a self promo right in here, and his app is basically really cool, you guys. It's a health inspections app. So basically what it does is there's a map, and you use the location services to pinpoint where you are within the country, and then it'll give you like every restaurant in your area's like health grade as far as like their health inspection or whatever. You would be surprised as to how many dirty kitchens you've eaten at before in your life. If you're ever curious as to how clean the kitchen in your favorite restaurant is, you know, go check it out. It is in only selective states, but you know, your state might be one of them. So I'm gonna leave the link down below just in case you're curious about it. We've always talked about moving to California because that's where I'm from. That's where my family is from, and I have family in California, so it would be easy for us to transition, you know, basically back to where I grew up. He started applying for jobs in San Diego, and he had like multiple interviews within a week. It was so great, and finally there was a company that was sort of willing to like interview him and wait for him because they all knew that he was way up here, but that he was wanting to relocate to the San Diego area. So they said, yeah, let's interview, and my husband got into his car, you guys, and drove clear across the country about 3 weeks ago, and he's been there ever since. Somebody that decided to interview him, you know, totally gave him the job, which is so amazing. I'm so like happy that he's happy because this is the job that he's sort of been looking for. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you guys, is my family and I are moving to San Diego in the next few months here. Most likely in the spring, because it's easier to move in the spring than it is in the winter, because we're still in winter, let's face it, it's still very cold outside. The next few, like, you know, weeks or so, I may end up cutting back maybe to 2 videos a week, and they may not end up being on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. They could be like spread out, but I'm gonna try to at least put out the 2 videos a week. If not, you know, I gave it my best shot. Hang in there with me, you guys. I've got to pack a whole house by myself this time, and I've got 2 kids that I'm taking care of at the same time, so it's been very overwhelming. That's basically what's going on in my life, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I feel like it's such good news that I've got to put it out into the world for everyone to rejoice with me. So yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to say. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and spread my love for makeup, and I will see you guys next week.